fight before the co-main event, we got Randy Brown with Jack Maddalena. Good fight. How do I look at this one? I'm going to look at the last fights. Well, first of all, before that, I'm going to look at something that I like to take note of in a fighter. Randy Brown, first thing that stands out on my mind is he comes to decisions. With Jack Maddalena, he finishes guys. And my memory serves me correctly, most of them in the first round. You know, and I remember one guy he finished with a liver shot. Orthodox Randy Brown, southpaw Jack. That always plays into account. Another thing that comes to my mind is latest opponents. A lot of people look at similar opponents. I don't really look at that because different people, different times, on nights, off nights. I like to look at last opponents, and Randy fought Masaren Duba. So when I look at that, that was another southpaw, not known as a striker. That guy's a brawler, shorter than Jack. And he had trouble that fight. He was getting touched that fight. He had trouble that fight. And Masaren Duba is a semi-passive, aggressive kind of dude. Jack is taller, predominantly a boxer, and he's always forward pressures, you know, and he's aggressive, and he will set up counter shots. So if you're getting hit by the brawler, that's passive aggressive. I have to figure you're going to be getting hit by the boxer that's full aggressive and could go first or second. So that's one thing that I look at here. And also Randy likes to move around a lot and take breaks while Jack is go, 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 go. And I don't think that, looking at the Masaren Duba fight, that goes well for, I don't feel like that goes well for Randy Brown. You know what I mean? I'm always hoping black folks be winning, you know? It ain't a lot of them in the UFC like that. But also I break it down how I break it down, and I'm leaning towards Jack in this one. I haven't got to see his cardio. I haven't got to see his cardio. I'm going to presume is decent, which might be presuming too much because we know how some of those guys, a lot of those guys in the UFC, got shitty cardio. But he got the hometown advantage. You know, Randy, when did he get there? I don't feel like a week is enough. We don't know when he got there. I don't know. Man, I gotta lean towards Jack Maddalena on this one. You know what I mean? I feel like Randy Brown, as far as I've seen, is a little bit more diverse of a striker, but a lot of the things you do as far as knees and kicks, harder to do and set up the correct way if you go going backwards, which I think he's going to be doing a lot of in this fight. I don't know who got the durability on this one, but man, I think it's going to be a good fight. But I gotta lean towards Jack, just strategic wise. And then he fought last, Hot Chocolate, Danny Roberts. And Danny Roberts, I feel, is a cleaner striker and faster striker than Randy Brown. And he just, I can't recall anybody doing Danny Roberts like that in the striking, actually, off the top of my head. But I think that Randy Brown got a little bit more heart than Danny Roberts, but still, though, man, with the skill discrepancy, I think that Danny Roberts have over him as far as cleanness of the striking. It still tells a lot. It tells a lot, and he never got to be put in this groove because he was always on the back foot. So I'm leaning towards Jack Maddalena on this one. Let me know what you think. People ask me what's up to do this. What do I feel? Yair Rodriguez, Josh Emmett. People wanted me to do this one. I don't know. I don't like the inconsistency of schedule for either party in this one. I know people say ring rust don't exist. That's semi-true. You know, depending on how much you in the gym, what you're doing in the gym, you can fight off some of that, but there's intangibles, you know what I mean? The crowd, the nerves, the expectations and stuff that you only get with the ring time. So when you ain't been in there for a while, it could get to you. I know that who did Emmett beat? He beat Ige. Burgos, I like Burgos, you know what I mean? Cater, I like Cater. I felt he lost that one. But, you know the dude's durable, but you know that because he's hittable. That right hand, like he did to Michael Johnson, that right hand raw. I don't know. And when I look at this matchup, I lean towards Jair. Especially, you see the way he did Brian Ortega. He was looking on fire, man. The dude's taller than Emmett. He's faster. I feel he has the better jiu-jitsu game. I give Emmett the wrestling, though he doesn't use it. So that's a non-factor here. If it was a factor, maybe I'll lean the other way. And he doesn't get touched as much. I don't like how the fact I know Emmett is durable because he's touchable for somebody like Yair. If he starts touching you with the hands, he's going to start touching you with the feet and the legs and the elbows and everything else. And it's like, how much can it take? And it's not like Yair isn't durable himself. So he got better hand movement, taller, faster, got the reflexes, the offensive durability and the or diversity and the defensive diversity as well. I would say Emmett got the cardio factor, but does it go that long? Who knows? I'm leaning to Yair on that one for the first one. That's my pick, Yair Rodriguez. For the main event, Islam Makhachev, Alexander Volkanovski. I gotta go for Islam, aka, but non-biased. I've called some of the biggest upsets ever. I called them all. The Matt Sierra versus GSP, the Weirdoom, Fedor, the Aurelio Takanori Gomi. I've called them all. And I think I might call one again. I might have to lean to Volkanovski on this one. Why Greg Blackson? Why Dom Rogan? Why are you leaning? Let me explain to y'all. So when I look at it like this and start thinking about opponents, I start thinking about what do the opponents bring to the table? How is it? So we got Charles Oliveira. I think that 5 times he would beat Islam, 5 times Islam would beat him. Islam got him that time. I think that's a great thing. I wasn't surprised. Like a lot of people were like, oh my God, he submitted him. I wasn't. It's not like the guy hasn't been submitted before. So anybody that trains jiu-jitsu, which don't seem like a lot of these guys really train just jiu-jitsu in a jiu-jitsu gym, not at an MMA gym, completely different. Anybody that trains jiu-jitsu in a jiu-jitsu gym will know there are some of the people who are very good at defending jiu-jitsu, not as good at applying submissions. And conversely, some that are very good at applying, but not as good at defending. Charles Oliveira seems to be the one who can apply it good, but when getting damaged in fights, he has been submitted before. I was not surprised, but I was impressed that he beat him overall. I started looking at things. Bobby Green, that's not a wow one to me. It went as expected. Dan Hooker, not a wow to me. Went as expected. Who do we have? Thiago Moises, that wow people that he submitted him, it didn't to me. That guy is one of the many guys when I watch, it's what I like to call a black belt on top in MMA, where the guys look like a brown or black belt on top and look like a blue belt on the bottom. Not the cleanest striker and anything like that. They're like this with a big wrestling edge and top edge here. I was not surprised by that. And that guy gets tired. That didn't impress me. For me, actually, besides Oliveira, the fights I like the most with Islam, which are the most impressive but also show things, is when he fought Armin Tuxerian and Davi Ramos. Those guys show that though he takes you down, you can wrestle your way back up. those guys show that his takedowns can be defended. And those guys show that he can be hit. I especially look at the Armin fight. You have a short guy like Alexander. You have a scrambler. Alexander scrambles. And I don't think that guy's as strong as Alexander, even though Alexander's coming up. I don't know if you guys know about rugby. Some of the toughest, biggest, strongest fucking guys out there. And he's doing it over there, Australia and everything, where you got the Samoans, Tongas, Maoris. That dude's used to the biggest of the big boys. And he put on size for this. I've won against 45ers stronger than 55ers I fought. So I know it's possible. So I look at that Armin fight and I'm like, dude, that's another short guy that scrambles around. And Armin did very, very well. And if you look at Davi and Armin, they went to decisions with Islam. The guys he submitted don't surprise me. He submitted, come on. When I look at Volkanovski, so we got Damage, Darren Elkins. We have Chad Mendes. Wrestlers. Good wrestler, great wrestler. We've seen how he can handle wrestling. We have Korean Zombie, the brawler. We saw how he can handle that. We have Max Holloway, the boxer / kickboxer specialist. Good fucking fight IQ, everything. In every fight, he did better against him. We've seen how he handles that. We have the kickboxing specialist in Jose Aldo with the vet mind. We see how he handles that. We have Brian Ortega, the boxer / jiu-jitsu specialist. We see how he handles that. I feel like he's fought people with higher skill sets. If I took the skill sets of the people who he has fought and the skill sets of the people that Islam has fought, this group would beat this group if everybody was the same weight, same size, and everything. So I feel like he's seen more, he's faced more. Then people tend to praise the cardio of people like Habib and Islam and stuff. I'm not so fast to do so. If I'm a wrestler and I like to be on top and I'm very good at getting people down and being on top, you actually don't know how good my cardio is because I'm in the position I'm most acclimated to physiologically. If you look at Habib versus Conor, you saw some signs of fatigue. If you look at Habib versus Poirier, you saw some signs of fatigue when he wasn't just getting people down the way he wanted. Was he tired? No. Like exhausted? No. But was he getting tired? Yeah. We haven't really seen Islam here. You know what I mean? And if you look at the Armin fight, they slowed down a little bit, but that was a barn burner, but they slowed down some. So we have Volkanovski's been in more 5-round fights than Islam. He's fought more diverse people than Islam. The guy's never been knocked out or anything. Islam has once, a long time ago, but still 1-0. Or I think Volk has, but weight classes up a long time ago. I would give the durability to Volk. Stamina from what I've seen, because Volk's has been tested, I would give to Volk. How you prevail through trouble, you have to give to Volk. And I can't imagine Islam's submissions being better than Brian Ortega's. And he got out of things that were equivalent to a fly flying in the spider's web, and the spider is on it, wrapping it up and in webbing, and he still got out. That guy has no quit in him. Islam's southpaw. And he has some of the best stats for defense, but it's because he's always going out of the way. So what's going to happen with a guy that's pursuing him and always getting in his face, and his best punch is the overhand right? Islam's not much of a shooter, and even if he was, Volk's lower to the ground, which makes that harder, actually. He likes to type the upper body and trip, and with shorter legs, it's harder to type the legs. So it's going to be more troublesome there, I would think. And Volk doesn't stay in one place. And he has a high IQ. I can see an upset here. If Islam beat him, I think it would be by decision. If Volk beat him, I think he might end up finishing him. I'm going to go with the upset here. I want the AK guy to win, but being an analyst, I really believe it could be an upset here, and people are underestimating that guy. So you guys let me know what you think in the comments, and I'm out.